What's going on, YouTube? And welcome to episode 3 of my Starship Evo builds, U.S.S. Revengeance. I'm Zero Elite, and I just want to thank you very much for tuning into today's video. And if you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, helping me in supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. And today we have about a 30-minute video. We're going to be trying to wrap up the front end of our lower hull. We're going to just jump right into it. Uh, and also trying to get all these different areas on the ship matching up, because again, that this is just a matching game at this point. Just want to double check and make sure that all of your line work matches up, and if it's not matching up, just delete it and stretch it out and do it again. But that is one of the cool things with Starship Evo, that you can just put these blocks down and you can change the dimensions of them, so you can really just save yourself a ton of time while you're doing the build between that and the symmetry tool. You can see I'm just going up at straight curved, well, not a straight, but an angle. You can kind of get a feel for what I was going for, because like I said, this area that I'm working on, like I really was inspired like by like a F-15 Eagle or like the FA-18, like their intake on like each side of the cockpit. That's just kind of like what I was thinking here, because I I liked how the Vengeance was originally the ship that gave me the idea to do this. But I don't know, like I'm not really, I was never that crazy about the shape of the Vengeance. I wanted to do something that felt a little bit closer to like a stealth fighter. Um, because at the end of the day, this is going to be a Section 31 ship, so you're talking covert operations. So it would make sense that, stealth technology or whatever, or at least it would have like a stealth feel to it. So that's really the main reason for going for this look. And as far as adding in like these air intakes on the side, I just think that looks really cool. And it's just something that's different. I've never seen a starship that looks quite like this. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, I think that this is maybe along the lines of like a modified stealth version of a Constitution class. You may not be that far off. Has a lot of the same angles as a Constitution class with some of the features, but I think the front end of the lower hull and the uh, the saucer really, those characteristics set it apart from some of the other ship classes on Star Trek. You can see I'm just working along the rest of the lower hull here, filling in the sides with the slopes. I'm just going along with a pattern that I currently have. So far, so good. Not quite sure how I'm going to close that in just yet. Um, well, I know how I'm going to close it in, but at this point in the video, I wasn't there yet. Um, in fact, there were a couple of things on this build that I was just kind of like exploring different ideas. I had like an idea and I had like a sketch that I had made, but I never, I didn't commit that much to what I drew. Um, then the other thing too is that I'm still relatively new when it's come to building on Starship Evo. Um, Trying to get a little bit more of the hang of building on here. I know I had done a tutorial last week on doing a circle. I'm sure you probably noticed it, that I actually took the video down, and I wanted to actually talk about that in this video. The reason for that is because, just my luck, they patched it the next day. And I talked about this in my previous builds, that I had read somewhere that the developer didn't like the way that circle was done, and basically that in order to do it, you have to have like where your structures are clipping into each other, and I think that maybe that there was just an issue with the game, so um, that's why they disabled it. But with that being said, um, I have actually figured out how to do circles, and I'm going to be redoing that video. That should be coming out probably this week. I've already recorded the session. I've just got to do the commentary for it. Um, but I wanted to make sure that I released the Revengeance episode today on Monday, because that's is the day that I've been releasing these episodes on. Sorry about that. My cat just jumped in my lap. I've actually got a 5-year-old Maine Coon. I've actually got 4 cats. I am not a crazy cat person. My girlfriend loves cats, and I was actually happy with one, and one turned into 4. Happy wife or happy girlfriend, happy life. Is that what they say? I think so. Something like that. Anyway, I love my cats. They're basically like my kids. But anyway, getting back in a little bit what I got going on here. You can see I'm trying to close in the top end of the lower hull here. And I can tell you right now that it's not looking perfect at the moment. And we're going to be finagling this just a little bit as we go. Because I wasn't, again, I wasn't certain on how I was going to close this off, because I had an idea of where I wanted to take this, but this area in particular gave me just like a little bit of trouble. What I could have done just to save myself some time is just do a row of blocks going straight across um, and building it off that, but that's just largely, again, because I'm new to Starship Evo and I haven't built on here um, that much. I mean, I have my build library is growing, but I've only been playing this game, I think 2 months now, something like that, maybe 2-3 months tops. But as I go, I will get better at building on here and making less mistakes. But everybody's going to make mistakes, so it's okay. But this video is just kind of to give you an idea of some of the stuff that you can do on Starship Evo, and hopefully to inspire you to give you some ideas to do on your own builds. As you can see, what I'm doing with my hull here, I'm trying to keep something that sticks to a relatively clean look. I know everybody's got their own design cues that they like to do, but I felt like for this build, it felt appropriate for the most part. Now, there are some parts on this ship that have a lot of detail to it, in particular the engines and the saucer. There's a lot of cool stuff. And then even on the lower hull, I don't think we'll be getting into it in this episode. I think that will be next week, but there's a lot of cool detail work that we'll be getting out of it. And actually, next week, you should expect to see a little bit more in the episodes. Um, I'm not going to be showing every single thing that I do on this build in real time like I've done with my other tutorials. Um, there might be 1 or 2 things I might jump across here or there, but if there's some things that you want to see me build specifically or things you want me to focus on, drop a comment below. I can tell you that I'm, like I said, I'm only been playing the game for about 3 months, so there's some things I'm not too familiar with as of yet. I'm still getting used to all of the sequences buttons that you can use. I haven't figured out how to do like the elaborate stuff yet. Like that, like is still just a little bit beyond me. I haven't seen too many tutorials that really break it down and explain it in a way that makes sense to me. I wish that the developer would add that to the existing tutorial area on the game because I think that it needs it. Because I've seen some builds and some of the things that you can do on here, and it's just absolutely incredible. One thing I am actually really excited for, and I think I'm going to do a video on it. And in fact, if you want to see me do a video on this, let me know in the comments below. But they have actually added warp drive to the game, and I have already refitted my Revengeance with warp drive, so this thing is now warp capable. If you would like to see me do a video on that, let me know in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you, or any other builds. You see, get back in a little bit what I got going on here. It's just not working out what I'm doing with the top front end. Um, like I said, the best thing I could do is add in what I'm doing right now, the row of blocks, and do that straight across and try to build something on top of that. Because I'm just trying to shape it out row by row, and that was working out in the back, but in the front area here, it's just it's giving me nothing but problems. And then also too, I'm not really sure how I want this thing to go. I'm kind of just trying a couple of different things here. Um, it's just it's not cooperating with me, not too much. I know that this whole area here, we're going to be making some changes to it, but just the top part here. You see, we got some room to work with on the inside. The ship is definitely going to have an interior to it. Not a ton of room. There's like 1 or 2 rooms I actually really wanted to add to the ship, but I just didn't have the room to do it. But next build that I do is going to be bigger than this one, and I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know what ship I'm going to build. I think I'd like it to be a Federation ship, mostly because I have not seen that many Federation ships on Starship Evo. Um, I've seen somebody that they do a lot of shuttlecrafts, which actually look really cool. And it's inspired me maybe to do a couple of my own shuttlecraft builds. But I want to keep it going with doing my Federation ships. If there's any other ships besides that, let me know in the comment section. But what Federation ships do you think would be a cool build to do on Starship Evo? Let me know in the comment section. I definitely would love to hear from you, and I can tell you that the majority of my builds on YouTube have come from the community. So I definitely appreciate the time that everybody takes to watch my videos and to give me ideas on different things to build. Um, I can't thank you enough for that, because sometimes I hop on here and I have an idea of what I want to do, but then other times I get on and I'll be sitting here thinking, okay, I don't really know what I want to do. Oh, I know. I'll check my YouTube channel and look at the comments section. So definitely, let me know some of the things that you'd like to see, because even if I don't do it right now, don't let that discourage you, because my YouTube channel is something that I'm always putting out videos every single week, and I'm going to continuously need content. So I'm basically trying to tell you is that if I don't get to your request now, chances are I will at some point, if it's something that I can do or something that I'm feeling. But to give you a type like an idea of like the builds that I like to do, as you can see, I like to do a lot of stuff that's Star Trek related, but I wouldn't say that I'm reserved to Star Trek only. I'd say anything related, like nerd related. I like Star Trek. I like Star Wars. I've done some stuff from Back to the Future. Anything really nerd related, I'd be open to doing it. So let me know in the comments what you'd like to see me do, because I definitely like to get the community involved, because you never know, might get more people invested in watching my YouTube channel. And if there's any other types of videos that you'd like to see me do, let me know in the comments below. Maybe you want to see some information on update videos. I'd definitely be open to doing that, but I think I want to focus on providing the content that my channel would love to see me do. So that is the most important thing to me at this point. After that, I think I might experiment and try a couple of different things, but what I have going on is not going to change. You can always expect to see new update videos on the builds that I'm doing on Starship Evo, and then like some tutorials showing you how I do it. But getting back into what I'm doing right here, I wish that there was a blueprint that I can give you, or like a set um, strategy on how to attack these builds. But the truth of the matter is, when you're building these ships from scratch, um, there's going to be a trial and error period. There's going to be things that work. There's going to be things that don't work, and then you're just going to have to delete it and try it again. That's why I always say that when you're doing a build, that just throw it down. See what it looks like. The worst that could happen is it doesn't look good, and you just got to delete it and try it again until you get it to where you want it to. I say I'm finally starting to smarten up just a little bit. I should have done that row going to the flat blocks going straight across from the beginning. It would have made it just a little bit easier to get an idea of the area that I had to work with and how I have to smooth it in. See that quarter triangle slab? We can use that right there. Um, there we go. And see, that doesn't look bad, but we're not going to settle on this. We're going to be making an additional tweak to just this area specifically in here. But as you can see, this is an area that I spent quite a bit of time working on. You know, we've already gone 15 minutes in the episode, and we've pretty much focused on this area right here. I wish there was more information I can give you other than what I have right now. Other than this is just clearly it's just a matching game over and over again, trying different blocks to seeing what works, swapping out the blocks that don't work and replacing them with the ones that do. But that is one of the things I do love about this game, that they really have provided you with a large arsenal of different blocks, as opposed to a game like Minecraft, where in a lot of ways you're really limited on the type of blocks that you have. I'm not sure I'm feeling what I got going on right there. But yeah, anyway, getting back in a little bit, the warp drive update they added in the game, I actually was not expecting them to add that into the game this soon. I know that they had it in the experimental version, but it's actually pretty cool. Like they have a galaxy map thing that you can put down that you connect to your ship computer, and you can like plot your course, just like in Star Trek or in Star Wars, and then you can plot your course to go right in the warp, and it goes right there. Um, the next thing that they definitely need to add into this game is the ability to set foot on other planets and different alien species to come across, and um, being able to mine resources to go on planets. Once they do that, I think this game is really going to blow up. Because right now, I think the main perk of this game is the fact that it's catered for building. And once they, make some of these updates that they've been talking about making, I think that this game is definitely going to get a significant amount of traction. If you have a computer and you have Steam, I would highly recommend checking this game out. Um, my two main building games at this point is Minecraft and Starship Evo, and I honestly just don't see that changing anytime soon. Um, because of the fact just how friendly this game is. But at the same time, you can tell that this is it's a relatively new game. I know that when they were Space Wanderers, they've been around for a while and they've gone through some significant updates and changes. And if you would like to see that for yourself, I'm serious. Do a search on YouTube for Sky Wanderers and then search Starship Evo. You can actually find their YouTube channel and a lot of their videos and kind of get a good idea of their progression that they've made. And see everything I'm doing here, like it looks great, but it's just not working out too much in my favor here. We're gonna jump forward just a little bit. You can see that it's not until I really start stretching this out with the 1/4 pyramid blocks or triangle blocks that start getting a shape that I want. The other thing that doesn't help is a little bit dark. That's okay. Not sure how thick I want to make this. Definitely want to make sure it matches up with what I already have here. See, that block right there doesn't even actually match. I gotta delete that and redo it. Son of a gun. It's alright, we'll get it. And just like that, fixed it. And it's cool. It does it for you on the other side. I just that feature in the game, it really does. It never gets old. And you'll always hear me talking about it because I'm so blown away that that symmetry tool is in the game. They'll never add it in Minecraft, but if they did, um, it would be a pretty cool feature. But just the fact that they have it on Starship Evo is definitely one of the key points on why I play this game. Other than that, it is just a lot of fun. All the different building stuff that they have on here and being able to fly around and explore, it's pretty cool. Another thing I do actually want to get into at some point is building a space station. Um, I know that I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to have a bunch of ships and I'm not going to have anywhere to put them other than building a space station. So I sense that's going to be coming here in the future. But right now, I just want to focus on getting the rest of this lower hull closed in so we can get some of our neck done and next week's episode. And I want to try to squeeze in as much as I can in next week's episode. I know that doesn't feel like we got a lot done today, but we really did trying to close up the front end of the lower hull. It was a task in itself, but now you can really get an idea of what I was talking about, how it has like those jet intake engines. But now you can start to imagine if we put a deflector dish in the center here, and on each side of it we'll have a crap ton of guns. Um, it's going to look really cool. We're going to start to fill in, I think, some of the neck here. I could have actually went up 2 rows there, but it's all good. So I'm just doing this moderately. We have another challenge here. We got to figure out what to do with the neck, but I think the best thing to do is just fill that in going straight up, and then we can use the slopes, or excuse me, the ramps, these blocks. Well, actually, this one right here. I think we can get away with doing that at an angle going upward towards the dish, and it'll look pretty good. There we go. That was messing me up. I had a block that was just sitting there lingering. Didn't even see it there. Ooh, yeah, see, I like that. I apologize for the lighting a little bit dark. As we get in here, you can see it. I need to smooth that out, make it straighter, but I think that is really gonna give it a nice attractive line there on the neck. There we go. I'm gonna delete some of these blocks here in the middle, because we're gonna need to eventually be able to go up through the neck to the saucer section. I can tell you one of the things I had a problem with on this build was how to get from the lower hull to the saucer section, because, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe you can make a vertical elevator in this game going up very high. I could be wrong. I need to actually look into that and mess around with it a bit. What I did settle on for this build was I just made like a cool looking staircase. Um, but the overall size of the ship, I don't think it looks bad with the staircase. I think it actually like fits really, really well. But she's definitely coming out really good. I really like the progress that we're making here. We're really getting to a point that we can start to smooth out some of this on the ship here. We're gonna have to build out our engines. We have to do the rest of the saucer, and then of course we have to do the interior. So I'm prepping out some of that for right now. We're closing off this area, because anything past this going inward is going to be inside of the ship, and on the left side and right, these are going to be actually the gun ports, and the dead center will be reserved for the deflector dish. Oh, let's do this row also. See, I don't even know why I did that row that way individually when I can just use this extend line to bring it all the way back. So you don't have a heck of a lot of room here to work with when you get towards the top, but that's okay. Um, the way I'm going to have the staircase, we won't be going up in the neck vertically like that, and it's going to have like a nice low progression. By the time we get up into the saucer area, that won't matter. Now you can see I'm building a row on each side of the dead center where the dish is going to go, the deflector dish. That's because this bar here in the middle that I have going at a slope, what we are actually the original line that we started with for the lower hull for the front, we're going to be deleting that, and we'll have a row on each side of it that will be going at exactly the same angle. But we will get into that in next week's episode. Or, yeah, next week's episode. I think that's going to wrap us up today. I do hope that you enjoyed this episode. And again, if there's any content you want to see me do for the YouTube channel regarding Starship Evo, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this video, if you can help me out and hit that like and subscribe button, I definitely appreciate it. But you can definitely expect a lot more on the build next week. Really looking forward to that. And in fact, you can always catch my Starship Evo builds on Mondays. You can also catch my Minecraft episodes Tuesdays through Fridays. Anyway, just want to thank you again for tuning into today's video. I hope everybody has a happy and safe week, and I'll catch you on the next episode.